For this one, we are going to be posting to the accounts payable ledger. And to begin with, it wants us to start a new page in the accounts payable ledger. So we're going to switch to our second page in our work together. And down here at the bottom, you'll see a blank account in our accounts payable ledger. This account that we're going to open is for Regal Designs. So we put the vendor name in. And then their vendor number is 240. It gives us a balance on October 1st of the current year. So we'll put that in, October 1st, 2014. Write the word balance. And then there is no post reference, so we put a check mark. And the normal balance of an accounts payable account is a credit balance, so we only have one balance column. We should always have a credit balance or a zero balance. Their balance is $877. And that takes care of step one. Now step two asks us to post the accounts payable credit entry on line 7 of the purchases journal to the accounts payable account for Regal Design. So we're going to switch to the first page, and here we see our journals, the purchases, cash payments, and general. So we're looking at the purchases journal, and here is line 7. Obviously we're skipping some lines in between here. So on the 19th, we have an entry to Regal Designs, and that's the one that we're going to post. So in our accounts payable ledger, we find the Regal Designs account. We put in the date of the posting, and if we look back at the purchases journal, it says that this was the 19th. And then for our post reference, we put P for purchases journal, and then the page number, which it's page 10 of the purchases journal. And then this is an accounts payable credit of $1,403.20. And we need to update our balance. We have a credit and a credit, so that means we add those two together. So we'll get our calculator out. And I come up with a balance of $2,280.20. Then to finish this step, we need to take our vendor number and write it back in the purchases journal. So we find the line that we just posted, and in the post reference we put vendor number 240. And that completes step 2. Step 3 says to post the accounts payable debit entry on line 15 of the cash payments journal. Here's line 15. To the accounts payable account for electrographic supply. Alright, so here we have that, and the accounts payable debit is $776. So we're going to switch back to our accounts payable ledger, the second page. Find electrographic supply. And the date of this, if we look back at the cash payments journal, is October 20th. And for our post reference, we put CP for cash payments, and then the page number is 15. And this is a debit of $776. Now we had a credit before of $776, so that brings us to a zero balance. So I put a line through the balance column. And then we take our vendor number, 230, come back here to our cash payments journal, and put that in the post reference column. And that completes step 2. Or step 3, sorry. For step 4, we have 2 that we're going to post from the general journal. If we look here on our general journal, we have on line 5 an accounts payable to electrographic supply. Now we have a slash here, so we learned before that we were going to have a slash there to remind us that it's posted in 2 places. We're also posting line 6. It has a slash, so we're going to add a slash here. Okay, so our first one is to electrographic supplies, and it's a credit of $2,544. So we'll come here, find electrographic supplies. Now the date of this is the 26th, and this comes from General Journal, page 11. So we'll put in G11, and it was a credit of $2,544. We had a zero balance before, so we'll just extend this new number over to the balance column. Then this was vendor 230. So back here in the General Journal, we come to the second half of this line. See, the top half is to post to accounts payable. The second half is to post to electrographic supply. So on the second half here, we're going to put the 230, and you do have to write really small to fit that in. Okay, line 6 has accounts payable art and things. So we'll come to our accounts payable ledger. Here is art and things. The date of this transaction is the 28th. General Journal, page 11. And this is a debit of $125. Our balance is a credit, so we're going to get our calculator out. Do 873 minus 125, which leaves us 748 as our balance. This is vendor number 210. So we go back to our General Journal, and on the bottom of this line we put in 210 to indicate that it was posted. And that completes step 4. Now step 5 takes place at the bottom of this page. So I'm going to slide things up just a little bit here. This is where we're going to create a schedule of accounts payable for Graphics Inc. on October 31st of the current year. So we start out by putting in our company name. Graphics Inc. Then we put in the name of the document, and we're creating a schedule of accounts payable. And then we put the date that we are preparing this, and it would be October 31st of 2014, the current year. Now for a schedule of accounts payable, all we do is go through our accounts payable ledger and list every vendor that has a balance or that we still owe money to. So we look at art and things, and we do have a balance, so we list them. And put their balance in our one column here. Next, we have Can Do Graphics, and they have a balance. Next up is Electrographic Supply, and they have a balance as well. And Regal Designs has a balance as well. And then to finish this off, we are going to put a line here that says total accounts payable . And then we'll grab a ruler and single rule. And then using your calculator, we need to total the 4 items that we have in this column. And I came up with 655,820. And then where we don't have debits and credits, it's a good idea to run these numbers a second time to make sure that you did your math correctly. And it looks like I came up with the same number. If it looks good, your last step is to double rule, indicating that you double checked your math. That concludes 11-1 work together. Go ahead and do 11-2 or 11-1 on your own, and it will be a similar problem, just different company name.